Hi everybody, my name is Christian and I'll be teaching you the keyboard parts to Since You've Been Gone by Kelly Clarkson today. We'll be learning the melody line on the right hand and the bass line on the left. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to play both of them individually and with a little bit of practice, be able to put them together. You will need a keyboard for this lesson as well as the sheet music that I have attached down below. You'll be able to download it and print it on your own time. Let's get to it. Alrighty everyone, before we learn the melody and the bass part, we gotta go over the form of the song. So the form goes, we have an intro of two measures, and then it goes right into the first verse. Then, right after the first verse, we head to the chorus, and from the chorus, we go back to the second verse. The second verse, keep in mind, is a little bit shorter than the first verse. After the second verse, we go right back into the chorus, and then the chorus leads us to the bridge of the section, which is pretty cool. And then from the bridge, we go back to the chorus, but we do the chorus twice. And as we learn the song, we'll also be able to get the groove of the form as well. But I just wanted to lay down the form before we started to learn the parts. Awesome. Alrighty, so we'll be doing the bass line first. So we'll be starting out with our left hand. We'll be learning the verse and the intro first. And for those, you only need 4 different notes, which are G, A, E, and F. Now, your middle finger lies on G, and then the rest fall in place. Sweet. So each of these notes have a certain amount of beats tied to them. So G starts off with 6 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. A has 2 beats. And sort of this 6-2 pattern repeats with E and F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that pattern goes on and on for the verses. Here is what it sounds like with the melody. Here's the thing, we started out friends. It was cool, but it was all pretend. Yeah, yeah, since you've been gone. So for the chorus part, we'll actually be splitting it off into 2 separate parts. We have this first section which has the notes B, C, G, and E. And so this is how the first part goes. So if you heard it, there's a little bit of syncopation going on. Not all of the notes fall on the downbeat. I'm going to play it for you one more time, and I'm going to have you guess which note is anticipated. Now, if you guess G, you are correct. G is a little bit anticipated, so it's played a little bit faster than the rest of the notes. Whereas the rest of the notes have sort of that straight rhythm. 1, 2, 1, ba ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Sweet. Now for the second part of the chorus, we'll be using the notes A, E, D, and G. And so for this section, we just ended off on G in our 4th finger. But instead of going to A with our middle finger, we'll actually be using our index. We'll be changing our finger position very slightly. We'll be going, and it's lucky for us, this part is just whole notes. So no syncopated pattern here. We'll be going A, and then E with our 4th finger. Then D with our pinky, and back up to A with our thumb, and G with our index finger. Now, the whole chorus overall goes like this. Now the whole chorus part goes like this. But since you've been gone, I can't breathe for the first time. I'm still moving on, yeah, yeah. Thanks to you, now I get what I want. Since you've been gone. Awesome. Now for the bridge section, this section is actually the easiest of them all. We only have 3 notes, C, low E, and G, and we only have whole notes except for the end. It goes like this. You had your chance, you blew it, out of sight, out of mind. Shut your mouth, I just can't take it, again and again and again and again. Now for the ending, you notice we actually fall right back into that syncopated groove that we had in the chorus, because it's actually leading right back into the last 2 choruses. So we'll be after we hit the climax of the song, and again we'll have that syncopated rhythm back. So now that you've learned the bass part of the song, we'll actually be moving on to the melody on our right hand. We'll be starting out with the pinky on D and the thumb on G, and the rest of the fingers following. And so I highly recommend actually singing along to the melody as you play, because I think it helps out a lot. It helped me out a lot as I was learning it, so I imagine it'll help you out a lot. So here is how it goes. Here's the thing, we started off friends. It was cool, but it was all pretend. So if you notice in that line, we're actually switching our finger positions very slightly. Still starting out with the pinky on D. It was cool, but it was on all pretend. We actually switch our 4th finger to go on D, so that we have that pinky free to play that E. All pretend. And then we fall back into that same position we were earlier. Yeah, yeah, since you've been gone. Alrighty, folks, so for the pre-chorus, it's a little bit harder than the other parts because we do have that octave jump and those notes trickling down, and that can be a little bit difficult. So make sure that you are singing as you play along, making sure you have those right notes. And also feel free to pause this video and rewind if you want to go over a couple parts before you keep moving forward. But anyhow, this is how it goes. We just finished with since you've been gone, and all you'd ever hear me say is how I picture me with you. That's all you'd ever hear me say. And that is the whole second part of the verse. Now, for the chorus of this song, I actually think it's a little bit easier than the rest of the parts. We only stay in 1 finger hand position, which is G in our thumb and our pinky on D. And we stay here for practically the whole time except for the end, where we have that rogue F sharp, since you've been gone, where we reach out with our index finger. But anyway, this part is also, I'm going to relate it to the bass part. When we were doing those syncopated patterns, it kind of has that sort of same groove, so make sure that you are sort of syncopating. It's not as straight as you would think. But yeah, it goes like this. But since you've been gone, I can't breathe for the first time. I'm still moving on, yeah, yeah. Thanks to you, now I get what I want. Since you've been gone. But yeah. Again, make sure to pause and rewind if you need some more time with it, okay? Now for the bridge part, we also do stay in the same finger position the whole time, but it's a little bit different than all the other ones because not all of our fingers are together. You see, we have our index finger on D, but our thumb is not on C, but on B. And that's what we're gonna call our bass for now, because we do hit this note a couple of times throughout the bridge. But practically our fingers go as so: thumb on B, index finger on D, middle finger on E, fourth finger on F sharp, and pinky on G. And that'll get you through the line pretty easy. But this part also has some sort of syncopations as well, just like the chorus. So make sure to stay in that groove and sing along as you're doing it. I promise you, singing along helps you a lot. But here we go. You had a chance, you blew it, out of sight, out of mind. Shut your mouth, I just can't take it. Again and again and again and again. And you've officially learned the song. Now the last step is combining both of these parts. I recommend you going back on this video and solidifying that bass line, solidifying that melody, making sure you know them on the right hand and the left hand very, very well, and start putting them together. And before you know it, you'll be playing Since You've Been Gone. Hope you enjoyed.